We are now going to cover the Module 2. Module 2 has two main items in the menu of the WMS. The first we'll be covering is the space reservation, and this will be followed by stack allocation. If you look at space reservation, the first item which we'll be covering under space reservation menu is reservation request. So what we're going to do is we are going to create a new reservation for a new depositor. I've taken an example. The depositor name will be called as dedicated test, and we will be doing a dedicated reservation from 1st of December 2019 to 30th of November 2023. The reservation space will be for 500 square meters. Some of the key points which you have to remember when you're making dedicated reservation is as below. Minimum period of storage for dedicated reservation is 3 months. Anything below that is not allowed as per the current configuration of WMS. After the reservation is made, the customer has to ensure that he pays 1 month storage charges is always payable in advance. And he has to pay 3 months security deposit, for which we will be providing only a cash receipt, and no bill will be generated for security deposit. I repeat, no invoice or bill will be generated for security deposit, as it is a refundable or an adjustable security deposit. Also, please note that only a full compartment can be allocated with the same size as reservation. Like in this case, if the reservation is 500 square meters, the compartment size also has to be for 500 square meters. It cannot be more or it cannot be less. We'll now go to the CWC WMS application. So if I said, if you see here, you'll see here space reservation. If I click on space reservation, the following menus are there. There is a general, there's a custom bond which is being developed, and there are two rebate options. So we will click the general. On the first item under the general menu is called as reservation request. So if we click the reservation request, this is the screen that opens on reservation request. Now, since this person whom we are going to reserve is a new party, so you see here there is this new user button, and this is light blue in color, which means that this has been selected. Now, this depositor can be of 9 types as per our current configuration in WMS. One, he can be a farmer, or he can come in as a Food Corporation of India FCI, or he could be a fertilizer company like RCF, etc., FACT, etc., or he could be a public sector undertaking like MMTC, Cotton Corporation of India. Then you have state public sector undertakings, or it could be a private enterprise or a public limited company or a partnership company or a proprietor firm. They could also be a pure government departments like Customs Department, Department of Revenue Intelligence, DC, Deputy Commissioner Disposal, which is again a unit of Customs, etc. They could also be cooperative society. There are two big cooperative societies who are one of our large customers. They are NAFED and NIFCO. Then it could also be any individual like you and me who is willing and who is wishing to use the services of CWC for storage purposes. And if you don't have these customers falling under any of these categories, then it could be as others. The only difference in each of this is the documentation requirement for registering them in WMS. As you see on the screen, these are the mandatory documentation required for registering them in WMS. If you're registering some as a private party, then what you need is only the Aadhaar card or a voter card or a PAN card of the owner or the board of directors, whichever the case could be. If you're registering FCI, then we need the letter of authorization and the PAN card. So like this, depending on the type of the depositor, the documentation required keeps changing. Now let us start with our example where we are supposed to create a new user. So we are creating a new user as a private firm. Let us say I'm clicking the register button. So this is a company. So you click the drop down option here and choose here private limited. And here you give the company name as dedicated test. And the contact person is maybe Sham or someone. You can just put anything. And you can put the what is the designation of the person whom you're putting out here, and then his the email ID, and then the mobile number of the person. It's normally a 10-digit number. the office contact number is not supposed to be the landline number of the organization. But if you do not have a landline number of the organization, you could actually copy the mobile number itself. The user ID is what we generate and provided to the user for logging in. Using this ID, if the user logs in, they will be able to get the following details like the warehouse receipts generated. He can create the deposit application form before bringing his stock to the warehouse. They can also see the copy of the copy. They can also see and download copy of invoices generated, any outstanding payment, all those details. So in this case, let me say I'm putting as DD123. This is a 15-digit number and this is mandatory. So you see here these small red color star marks, which clearly means that these fields are mandatory and you cannot you cannot create the depositor without adding these details. So let me pick any 15-digit number. Since my state is Delhi, I'm picking this thing. TAN number and PAN number is normally the first 10 digits after the state code. So you can, if you don't have the exact PAN number, you can actually copy it from here and put it out here. The address of the warehouse. No more Delhi. Choose the state and then the city within the state. So once you do that, when you click next, see if right now if you see here, this is an error coming, which means I have actually put 4, 5, 9 digits only. So it's saying please put the 10-digit number. So like this, if there are any errors, this will come at the bottom. If the GST number is already taken up by some other party, then this will clearly tell that this number should be unique and you need to put in a unique number. So and right now, this is also again a 10-digit error. So I'm going ahead with that, changing the number, and I'm pressing the next. So when I press the next, an OTP window will come asking me to provide the OTP number. Now, how do I get the OTP number? You see this plus symbol here. Just click that and again log into the CWC WMS server. You go to the other transaction and you see the last option called as OTP Detail. Now this facility has been provided to the warehouse manager because WMS is currently being stabilized, but otherwise you should actually call up the depositor whose mobile number you have entered while registering and check with him what is the OTP has received from WMS application, because that also serves as a verification of the customer. Now you can either put the email ID or the mobile number. The mobile number can be copied from here, 67845 67845 and 67802 67802. You do a search. The OTP generated by the application will be shown out here. So it's 417113. So I put that 417113 and then I verify. After the verification, it will ask you to upload the document of the customer. So let me upload the document has to be either in a PDF form or a JPEG form, because when you scan any application, these are the only two formats under which the file will be saved. So you save, and this screen out here is to enter details if there are any branches of this particular depositor. So it's quite possible this party whom we are entering has an head office in Delhi and has branches maybe in all the other parts of India. So we can enter the branch contact details like who is the in charge person who will be dealing with us in those respective areas. I skip this. I don't need this for now. Now I'm coming to making the reservation. The fourth screen out here is, you see here, it clearly shows this is a reservation space. So what I do is I select the warehouse. I'm creating a dedicated reservation. So I'm creating the dedicated. I'm taking the industrial goods area from December 1st to 2023 November. The contact person is by default whatever comes to pick up. We provide a facility for the party to ensure the goods by themselves, or they can take this service from us. in most of the cases for dedicated reservations, the party prefers to take the insurance by themselves, but it is mandatory for the party to take insurance. He cannot keep any goods in the godown without having insurance. Hence, he needs to provide us a letter of confirmation. So, in this case, I'm choosing the insurance by party. Moment I choose that, you see a document upload button is coming up. So, we need to upload the letter where the party is confirming that he is taking the insurance from which company and all those details, and then press next. Now it is asking this commodity group which was chosen in the earlier screen is automatically getting populated out here. This is not mandatory for dedicated reservation because we do not track any transactions of the party. Hence, this is only for academic purposes. However, if the party is taking a dedicated reservation for food grains, then you need to enter this. This is because recently there has been a change in the GST circular which allows exemption for parties keeping food grains and other GST exempted goods on a dedicated basis. Earlier, for if any party keeps any material on dedicated basis, we used to charge them a 18% GST on for dedicated storage. But that has been changed, and because of that, we have kept this as open. Now I'm putting, as per our requirement, putting 500 square meters. If you see here, this is the area which I'm requiring. Now, if you see here, it is showing the amount as which needs to be collected from the party while making the reservation. This is 1 month storage charges in advance along with GST. If I press the question mark, it shows the calculation, payment for 12 weeks, reservation for 0/12/2019 to 31/11/23, unit price, which is the square meter area tariff, gross tariff. For dedicated, it's always gross tariff. Even though there is an option for selected, please always choose gross tariff. Tax is at 18%. Total amount is 72,570. Now, there is also information on the screen telling you how much money you have to collect from the party as a 3-month security deposit. This security deposit is a refundable security deposit which needs to be refunded to the party at the end of the period of the storage or the reservation, as the case could be. This for accepting this three-month security deposit, we do not generate any invoice or bill, but what we provide is only a cash receipt informing the customer that I have received this amount from you towards security deposit. Now I am submitting this. Okay, now it's asking me to connect whether the party is deducting TDS or not. In most of the cases, TAN party which has TAN numbers, we will deduct 10% of the total bill raised as a TDS. The 10% is deducted from the base charges and not from the GST. So whatever total amount which is being shown minus GST amount, from that 10% will be deducted by the party. So in this case, let me say 6,000 was the base number. So I'm saying proceed. Now I'm choosing the payment mode. I'm saying the party chose check. He gave me full, and then he gave me a check number. Let me say the check number was 267820, and I'm saying check from SBI Bank. You can give the check details, which bank, what other details, which branch, etc. CP branch, and then you say pay. See, this is done now. Now I can allocate a compartment if I want. For example, if I want to allocate compartment number 10A to this party, I can do that. See, compartment A is exactly 500 square meters. I can go and say, when I do this, what happens? If I allocate this compartment then will not be available for other type of transactions like general transactions or general reservations and delivery basis transactions. Now I am saving. Now, how to check whether the reservation has been made correctly and what are the checkpoints for that? The checkpoints for the reservation are as below. You go to accounts and billing, go to billing, go to storage bill. Now, when you click the storage bill, you will be able to see this. For example, this is the party whom we created. This is the amount. Now, when I print, if there's a print symbol, there is an edit symbol. When they check the print symbol, you can see the bill which has been generated. This is the address of our warehouses. This is the address and details of the party, including the GST number. All the other details like invoice number, date of invoice, the place of supply, the accounting service code, everything is provided out here. And the details of the billing, industrial goods, the period of invoice from where to where, for all those details are already provided. I will be taking up in a separately when I'm discussing the accounts and billing module in terms of how this numbering is done and what are the significance and relevance of that particular numbering. So this is as far as the accounts and billing bill is concerned. You should also check the reservations from the space reservation. Go to general. There is a second option called as reserved space area. If you click that, you will see this reservation which you have just created. This tells you request number. This is a system generated request number which is going to be used for future tracking purposes. The date of request, what is the type of reservation type, whether it is an area basis or bag basis, approved, success. Now when I click the view button out here, I am getting the further details like what is the start date and end date of the reservation and the commodity group. When I click this arrow mark, when I expand it, it also tells me what is the total area covered under this reservation. So these are the two checkpoints which you need to have in the for any dedicated reservation made. Please note, for dedicated reservation parties, the only thing we do is create the reservation and generate bill on a monthly basis. We do not generate any other transaction related information on the system. So transaction related entries are not made on the system. So as explained, I have outlined the checkpoints. So you go to space reservation, click general, click reserve space area, and then find the further details. You go to accounts and billing, go to billing, storage bill, and check for the bill generated. You can do a print and then check whether everything is all right. So this completes the process of creating a reservation request for a new depositor on a dedicated basis.